Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to another card making session where we will use the festive and fun stamp set by Stampin' Up. This is part of this month's Card on Blue Card Club. If you'd like to get involved in next month's Card on Blue Card Club, just go to the link in the description and click on the offerings. We're going to be working with So Sincere during the month of November. During the month of October, you voted for the festive and fun stamp set. And we'll be doing 3 videos total. I've already done 1 video with the first 2 cards, which I'll show you in a little while. And we've already colored the giraffe and the little beaver up here holding the candy cane. Today we're going to work with the moose and make a cute card. And then we will do the rhino tomorrow. That's the plan. This is the 3rd week of the month, and that's when I do the Card on Blue projects for the card club. We are featuring today this paper called Merry, Bold, and Bright. It is my favorite paper in the holiday catalog because it has the bright colors in it. So let me show you what that paper looks like. We're going to be using that for 2 of our cards. Therefore, we have a different color palette than we used yesterday. And the die we're using is part of your Card on Blue Club. I sent it to you in your packets, and it is, you can see the little stitching on it. It's called Stylish Shapes Dies. All right, so you have a packet in your card club that looks like this, and this is the paper we used yesterday, Joy of Christmas. Put that over there. This is what your packet looks like. So you're going to take this paper out, and you have enough to make not just 2 cards of each design I'm showing you, but you have enough to make 8 cards total, 4 of each design, plus you have lots of extra paper. So this is what the paper looks like. We have the Christmas bulbs, and that's the other side of that. We'll be using this piece on the second card from this series. We're going to be using this piece tonight. The green dots. There's more Christmas bulbs here, but I like these Christmas lights better than the rounder ones. That's some funky paper there. Some more trees. This is the background of one of our cards with the rhino on it. So we'll be using that paper next. We're going to be using this piece today. Fa la 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 la. And the stars are cool, the stripes, and there's a couple extras of these. So these are the pieces. The reason I have 2 of these is because some of these pieces we don't use at all, but you have them for yourself. So let's take out the 3 we need. We need that one, this one, and that one. So now we're going to do some cutting, and I'll write down the measurements for you. Let's see. Rhino card. Oop. Moose card. Okay, moose card, blueberry bushel. Moose card with blueberry bushel. So now I have to find the blueberry. I may have to make the blueberry bushel if I don't already have it. Hopefully that's what this is here. All right, let's check it out. All right, good. That means I could just tell you the measurements. Good. One step saved this late night crafting session. So we need to take this piece and we're going to cut it up. We're going to make it 4 inches wide. All right, it's really, and then, oops, sorry, 4 inches you can set. And then it depends on if you want to cut off the 2-inch section or 3/4 inch section. In this case, I wanted the 2-inch section cut off. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. It's like yesterday, but yesterday I did it in the order of 5 1/4 by 4. This time we're doing it 4 by 5 1/4. It's an A2 card, so that's your first layer. And you can see how it's going to go right on here. And we're going to add the next layer now, which is this piece. Now you can cut these 2 together because they're the same width. They'll be different heights. But before you cut them together, you want to make sure that your fa la 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 is horizontal. So then we make this, remember the other piece was 4 inches wide. This piece is going to be, both of these pieces, which we're cutting together so that they match up, are going to be 3 3/4 wide. Okay, so far so good, easy peasy. We have lots of scraps left over. Now we're going to take this and turn it. Now keep this, save this one for later. We're going to make this one 5 inches high. Okay, what am I doing? I'm making a little margin here. So you have a border, 1/4 inch, right? Good for contrast. Look how nice this card is coming together already. Now we're going to take the fa la 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 la. And I have right here that it's 3 3/8. But really what I did is this. And you could see it on my sample. What I did is I cut, first you turn it and you cut off the partial fa la 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 la. So you're going to go in there and do this. So get in there and you look right on the, in your trimmer, you're going to look for the red spot so you don't cut off any of the text. Okay, and it cuts perfectly by looking in your trimmer. See that? So now when you turn it, I'm going to give you the measurement, but you want to do it that way so that you can get all the fa la 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 las. So I wrote 3 3/8. So it's the little smidgen here before the 3 1/2. But of course you want to check it and make sure that it's only red under there. And then you have it, and you have a perfect one set up with all the text. So that's where I came up with that measurement, that you could read it the best. And that's exactly why I made it the width I did and everything else. And then when you do this stylish shape style I gave you, look at that. You're not cutting off any of the text. You can read it fa la 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 very easily on that paper. So that is why I came up with those measurements. And now what you want to do before, well, you can adhere these two together. And then we're going to put the ribbon behind it. And then we're going to adhere this to this. And then we'll adhere the ribbon to that. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to put, before you put that onto the next layer. So we're going to go like so. And we're going to just lay this down, kind of. Sometimes what I do is I use, when you have these little trays, you can use the edges of them to line things up. Perfection. Okay, that lines up, so that's good. And now we need the ribbon. Let's see what I did with that. You know what? I think I used up the ribbon, and I might have to grab another roll. That's okay. We will get the ribbon in a moment. So let's start stamping, and then we'll get the ribbon. So we're going to start stamping. We're going to take out the Memento black ink. And we're going to mount up Mr. Moose. That way it'll have a little chance to dry as well, which is always nice. So we'll take out Mr. Moose in the really cool Poppy Parade sweater. And we're going to put Mr. Moose like that. It could be Mrs. Moose, but carrying the little platter. But the sweater looks like a Mr. Moose. Okay, we're going to put that, mount it like that, flat side up. Now, we're going to get this sentiment, this one that we used with our giraffe card. And let's get another long block. May your season be one that's festive and fun. Okay, let's check it out. Did I do any inking? No, I didn't ink the edges. That's fine. So we're not going to ink the edges. We're just going to go. And we're going to stamp on here. Make sure you get a good stamped image. My tray is flat. I put paper inside, so it should stay flat. Hold it for a few seconds. All right, good. I always like to do, when I have a tutorial, I always like to do an extra one in case I have a coloring disaster. Now, I do think positively, but you never know. I'm also taking precautions, so we're going to put that there. And then we have that done, so put that into the wash pile. And we also need our little bird again that I put away. And yesterday we lost my bird for a moment, but we found him. Ooh, that came out nice. Always stamp onto your paper first. I hope I didn't cut off the word that. Ooh, that came out nice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So does anyone want to venture to guess why I was so late tonight? You'll know if you read the community tab inside of YouTube. Anyone want to venture to guess what I've been up to today? The first of something. It was very cool. And I'll tell you about it as I'm crafting. Here's the little birdie. Birdie, tweet, tweet. I don't know why I put the lid back on the ink when I needed to stamp the bird. The bird's going to go right down there by the, in between the moose and the text there. Oh, yeah, he's so cute. Let's put the little bird down there. All right, so that's your little design. And now we color. But because we are using a different color palette, not the one we had yesterday. We don't use, yesterday when we were using the Joy of Christmas. Yes, thank you, Lynn. It was my podcast. So if It's an hour long, so please watch it later or listen to it later. It's not watch. Listen to it later. It's an hour long. I had my first podcast guest. Thank you, Lynn. And Tracy Vanover, I've known her for many years. I met her through YouTube and my craft. I met her through, she had a brother ScanNCut. She took my course. We've been friends ever since for 5 years, Facebook friends and friends on Crafty Friends. And I just asked her, I said, since you were my first review that I was posting on my Udemy courses 5 years ago, and she's the one that told me about the online teaching of craft courses after I already had a YouTube channel. I asked her, will you be my first podcast guest? And as busy as she is, she said yes. And the woman has over 18,000 sales on her Etsy store, so she knows what she's talking about. In contrast, I have 200 or like more than that. But what I'm saying is I sell aprons one at a time for my mom and doll clothes and a few things a little bit at a time, some labels and things. This woman sells digital products and designs them. And she used to sell physical products too. I kind of need to wipe that one off. So she really knows her stuff. Plus, she teaches on different platforms. And I didn't realize until she told me. I learned a lot in the interview. She's on a dozen platforms. So you'll really learn a lot by listening to her. I mean, whether you want to have a crafty business or not, this is a very interesting interview with a crafty friend. So what I'm going to do is, I just had to look at how I did that. So what I like to do when I color is I like to use my other ones as a guide. So I'm just going to, I think I just made this whole part dark. It was just easier. Like so. I made that dark and the arm dark. So my podcast is called Hello Crafty Friends. Yesterday on this channel, some people were asking, oh, does a podcast cost any money? No. I do have a hosting platform I pay for, but I'm saying from you, the listeners, you don't pay anything. It's like YouTube, except it's audio. Unless the guests want to be on video, we might do some video podcasts, but for now it's audio. So you just listen. And I get to have conversations with crafty friends, which is exciting. I already have 2 more lined up. And that's why I'm on late tonight, because interviews, it's not just the interview. That was over an hour, the interview. Then you have to take the audio and put it into Audacity and do some editing and to get it into the right format. And then after that, you have to, I'm just saying what else is using Poppy Prayed. So while I'm here, I'm going to color those berries, just so you know what I'm doing. And then I made like a little trailer for it. That's a little like a teaser audio clip. And then I posted to social media. And so there's a lot of steps. And even just to publish it is a few steps, the publishing the podcast. So all that takes time. This one already got smeared. So I'm probably not going to use that one. Let's just keep coloring this one. It's fun. I figured out how to do it. It still is very time consuming. So that's what I'm up to. My podcast. That's the other arm over there. I think I also did a little bit of dark Poppy Prayed on the sweater over here. So all you do is, if you have an iPhone, you go to podcast, just search for podcast. You have the app on your phone. If not, you get the newest one from the App Store. And then you find the podcast and click on follow. So hopefully you'll follow me. And then you'll just be updated automatically when the podcast, whenever there's a new episode. It's not that and if you're not getting notifications, every time you check, there'll be any new episodes are automatically there. You don't have to search for them. They come in your feed. And I'd really appreciate a review, since my podcast is new and the only way it's found is if I tell people about it. I'm not going to be found naturally unless I'm on there for a while. So at the beginning, I really rely on reviews to be found, because then if people review and listen at the beginning, then Apple will say, okay, it's a real podcast. It's like, not some crackpot. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to use shaded spruce just for these 2 leaves here. You know what? I'm going to use the light one. I'm going to go ahead and do the tips because I've already started coloring. But I think that's too dark, so I'm going to use the light shaded spruce. Those are really tiny leaves. This is a really easy stamp set to color and a really easy stamp set to cut out with your ScanNCut. All right, so we have the holly. Now let's look what we did. We did pool party, I think it was. Light pool party for the glaze. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe there's something else over there, but maybe I might have done light pool party and then lightened it up some more. And we'll do some of the bird in light pool party. I like coloring the birds in light pool party. Let's use dark pool party for the head and the wing. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and grab, even though I would normally use a marker, we're just going to use this Daffodil Delight just to color his beak in real quick. And the cake. I'm going to look if it was Crushed Curry or Daffodil Delight. One moment while I look up the coordinating colors for this paper. It's going to be on page 9. If you still would like a mini catalog and you don't have one, let me know because I ordered some more. Crushed Curry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use Crushed Curry for the little cake that it's carrying. Here's my website. That's how you get a hold of me, like right there. Here, let's put that off to the side. You can read that if you'd like a catalog. Paperchef.stampinup.net. Oh, it's right there. Here, it's right on my tray. That makes it even easier. Now I'm going to use Crushed Curry for this cake. Because that's a coordinating color. And then I just took the petal pink because for the hooves, because it was easier to use the petal pink. I better use the small. So this is petal pink. I'm going to use the small side just for the hooves. Down here. Here, let's look. Let's show you what I'm doing. See, just down here. And now we'll have fun coloring the moose. We're going to do the moose last because it's the darker colors. All right, so Mr. Moose, we are going to make you crumb cake. That's what I had here on my tray to start out with. These are crumb cake and ivory. So I used ivory. Here, let's do the crumb cake. I used ivory and light crumb cake for the antlers. So where does ivory come from? I mean, not where does ivory come from like in nature. I mean, our color of ivory is when you get the bronze and the ivory. I don't know if we call them skin tone blends. I forget. But you used to buy bronze and ivory together. I think that's how you buy them still. I'm using the light crumb cake up there, and then I'm using ivory to make these stand out a little bit. See how light that is, but it looks cool. It's still an alcohol marker, so it'll still blend. Super fun antlers. Okay, now we're going to take the dark crumb cake. So after the podcast was over, I asked Tracy if she wouldn't mind helping train because she's such a wealth of information. And I asked her if she would help train my new group, which is Grow Your Crafty Business Group, which you can sign up for if you have a crafty business or want to grow one on hellocraftyfriends.com. You can sign up for that. It's a Facebook group, but we do Zoom calls. And the first Zoom call next week is going to be on setting up your goals, your goal trackers. Trackers, meaning you should have more than one goal. So you're going to track them in Google Sheets. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. And we're going to have a template, and you're going to be able to edit it based on your own goals. And you can't really grow your crafty business if you're just wandering aimlessly like I used to be. I used to be like that, wandering aimlessly. You have to have goals and strategy, and there's a lot. And she's going to help me. She's going to be a guest in there. So that's exciting because you're getting some world-class training there from a top seller on Etsy with over 18,000 sales, as I mentioned. Now, that's just one way to make money from crafts. We'll talk about dozens of ways to make money from crafting. I mean, when it comes to YouTube, I can tell you all about that and different ways to monetize YouTube. And she can tell you about Etsy. And my mom has been making a lot of things on Etsy, so we could talk about handmade items. And I could talk about craft fairs and bring on other guests to talk about craft fairs. And it'll be a group where you learn from each other. So that's what's nice about it, is you're not just learning from me. It's a mastermind. You learn from each other. And I'm hoping that after people join my group and stay with me for a year or so, or not even a year, maybe sooner, that you guys start earning the incentive trips from Stampin' Up! If you're Stampin' Up! Or less than a year, I hope you're training others. I hope less than a year, you're like, I'll do a session. So I'm not the only one doing sessions, that the members are teaching each other. Oh, wow. Look when I'm yapping, how quick that got colored. So to review the color scheme, and let me do Wink Estella as I'm reviewing this. Then I'll say hi to you and then I'll go grab my ribbon. All right, so to review, the antlers are done in, okay, let's get some glitter out. Come on, glitter. Ivory. Okay. Lots coming out, but I don't see any sparkles, so maybe it'll dry with some sparkles, but there's a lot coming out of here. Now, not just ivory, the antlers are light crumb cake and ivory. The mousse itself is dark crumb cake on the outside and light crumb cake on the inside. I'm coloring this part first because whenever I touch one of these reds with my Wink Estella, it starts to run. So we're going to do the other things first, and then we'll touch the red at the end. Okay, this little pie that he's carrying is pool party on the top, crushed curry in the middle, and then, of course, the holly is poppy parade and shaded spruce. The little birdie is light and dark pool party and poppy parade. The little beak is, I just used Daffodil Delight, but of course you would probably use crushed curry because that's a coordinating color, but crushed curry is darker. And then the sweater is light and dark. Here we go. I'm just kind of doing this so it doesn't get all over. Light and dark poppy parade, because poppy parade is a coordinating color in the Merry Bold and Bright paper. And then lastly, these little hooves are petal pink. So that's all the color scheme. And look at that. Shine. Shine on. Now I'm going to go grab the ribbon. I'll be right back. Okay, this ribbon that was in your kit is called Gold. Oh, boy, that's an easy name. Gold Shimmer Ribbon. Yippee for shimmer ribbon. So cut a little piece of that off. It was in your card clip plate. You're going to fold it around like so. Put a little piece of adhesive there. And then do a little snip. So I snip it. Okay, let's make sure it's straight. Oh, it's not really centered, is it? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 la-las. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 la-las. So we need to move it down a little bit. So it's in the middle of a la-la. Like this. I think it has to go like that to be centered. All right, that's better. I mean, little things count when you're crafting. Okay, little thing. You might go, why does she care about little things like that? Well, you're a professional, right? We're gonna sell our cards. We're gonna give our cards away, and your work, whatever you do, you should try to do it well. And that's little things gonna make your cards look nicer. Oh yes. All right, but now I gotta hide the adhesive that I just put up. Speaking of looking nicer, now I gotta move this down slightly because the adhesive is lower. All right, that's good enough. You want to hide your adhesive, otherwise you start touching your card to things and it sticks all over. This ribbon's pretty flat though, it's pretty cool. Now you're going to put this, okay, let's move this over here to get rid of that. So let's put this and these. I know you're still waiting on the measurements for the card itself, but we're just doing the layering. We're not leaving you hanging. We're going to write the measurements. We're going to say hi to everybody. I always like to put a little bit of adhesive on the edge of these ribbons, just because under there, anything could happen under that paper. So you put a little adhesive there. This is Seal Plus. This stuff is awesome. I need to order more of the refills. I keep accidentally ordering the big ones. I'm going to have to probably give those as a bingo prize this weekend or something. I have so many. I keep ordering the big ones instead of the refills. It's like, no, I just wanted the refills. Okay. Just like I keep ordering the mini dimensionals instead of the full ones. I've done it the last couple times now. All right, so that's what you're going to do, is you're going to layer them up. See how the ribbon's underneath there? It's all hidden. It's not going to make your card lumpy. This is just a cool technique of not making your cards lumpy, because your ribbon is tucked under the one layer. Your card is not lumpy because this is still flat on the back here. And we're going to put it on our blueberry card base. Blueberry being one of the coordinating colors in the Merry, Bold, and Bright. It's a vertical card. Just double check that your fa la 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 is not upside down. Grabbing some dimensionals. Okay, let's see. I'll just use a combination of some big ones and small ones. So we're going to flip Mr. Moose around here. Put the big ones on the corners. And then we're going to put a couple little ones in the middle. Whenever I have a big, and don't worry that when you use alcohol markers, it bleeds through, but it's no big deal because you can't see it. If you use the thick basic cardstock, it doesn't bleed through, but we're using the regular basic cardstock, not the thick one. Anywho, I like to put, when I have a big die, back to my point I was making, like this giant die from the Stylish Shapes dies. I like to put a couple little dimensionals in the middle. These aren't quite as high. The mini dimensionals are not as high as the regular dimensionals. You can see they're not as high in height. However, it'll keep it from drooping anyway. You want to put something in the middle to keep it from drooping inside. So we're going to put that on there. Being sure not to block any of the fa la las. That's how we got the card perfectly centered. See? There's a fa la la on each side. And it's perfectly centered. Well, almost perfectly centered. It could go a little bit more to the right. But at least from top to bottom, it's centered. Yeah, like so. Well, it could be the angle I'm looking at it from, I'm looking through the camera. There you go, though. Give it a rub-a-dub-dub. No embellishments needed because you already have your bling. But if you want, go ahead and add some more bling. I mean, if you want to add more bling, add more bling. You have bling in your kit. But I was using snowflakes for the other ones, but not this one. So that is cool. Now let's write it down. Okay, we have the blueberry bushel, which is 11 inches. Score at 5.5. And the height is 4 1/4. So what does that look like? Visual. I mean, obviously not to scale, not in proportion, but that's how the card is. So that is blueberry bushel. And you can take a picture of this when I'm done writing the measurements and you'll have it. And then my faithful team member, Janet, always writes the measurements for me. She transcribes it. And then I copy and paste them later into the description of the video. So she writes them in the comments and then I copy and paste them later. We got a system. I know it should be a more organized system, but we have a system. It's working for us. It's the quickest thing to do because I just design cards with my little notebook and you don't want to see that chicken scratch. All right, so let's go like that. This is the Designer Series paper, Merry, Bold, and Bright. And then you have a next section of, the fa la la, fa la 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 la. This is the fa la la piece. So we have this piece would be, okay, we're going to go 5 1/4. I like to do it like this, right? So 5 1/4, and then this one's only 5. So we're talking about this outside layer versus the inside layer. So 5 1/4 inch versus 5. And then this one is 4 inches wide, and this is 3 3/4. Okay, because of that, this is also 3 3/4 wide. And then the top to bottom was 3 3/8. And that's moose card, blueberry bushel, blah, 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 blah. green dots, bulbs. These are my little notes for myself, like which one had the green dots. So this is just your DSP. So this is your designer series paper. And if you want, we can put those little notes on there for you. This is the paper with the green dots. And this is the Christmas with the light bulbs. And this is the fa la. I already said fa la la. Okay, we're going to say it's the red paper. Well, it's actually Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade color. All right, so that is your directions. And a little piece of ribbon around there. And that is all. So let's say hello and see the other cards we're making in this series. Yeah, I know. I need to order the dry blends. In fact, let's make a list. Thank you, Lynn, because I forget everything. So we know we need shaded spruce. And was it? I know it was like, I don't know if these were dry or just worn out. Yeah, these were like just, it's like the ends were worn out. Yeah, see, I had to keep cutting them. So we need to order Pool Party. And because it's time for the holidays, we need crumb cake. And then we're going to write, this is just, I'm sorry I have to do this right now, but seal plus refill. It's like if I don't remember this now, I'm going to not order everything I need to order. I keep saying things and then I forget to order them. Oh, regular dimensionals instead of the minis because I keep ordering the regular. All right. So where were we? We were looking at the cards. We were saying hello, looking at the cards from the rest of this card club, and I'll show you those as I'm looking at it. So we have Lynn is here in this late night crafting session. Lisa from Critters and Design Inc. This is our other card. This is what we're making tomorrow with the rhino. This little die that I sent you. This piece of granny apple green, and we'll be using the snowflakes on this one. Lots and lots of coloring, so we'll start earlier tomorrow. I don't have any interviews scheduled for tomorrow on Zoom. But I do have a bingo Friday. That's why I'm trying to get this whole card club done before then, because my whole area needs to be cleaned off before the bingo Friday. And I still need to do bingo videos showing my members what they're going to be making so they can cut all the stuff they need for the cards. So that is those. And so we're making this one tomorrow. So it's card on blue. Card on blue, we always do four different designs. We're doing festive and fun. Okay, now then yesterday we made these two cards. This was Joy of Christmas Designer Series paper. So it's the little beaver right here. How cute. Love the little beaver. Okay, and this giraffe. And that were definitely the blends that were super dried out. Were the shaded spruce for sure. I'm not sure how my daffodil delight are doing. So we're going to make a little note to check on those as well, because I don't remember if the giraffe was easy to color. So that was Joy of Christmas paper. And then also with Festive and Fun, this one was one I did with a blending brush over a piece of embossed cardstock. And I actually didn't use a ScanNCut for this. I cut this with scissors because I did it live right when we unboxed the stamp set. And this one we just cut with a piece of paper. And you guys picked out this color scheme. So this one was, that was Cherry Cobbler. This was Old Olive. This was, let's say, Real Red. And this is Crushed Curry with another combination of Blackberry Bliss, which I tied into this over here in the basket. So those are different things you can do with this fun and festive. Okay, we'll show you some cute things. These are little, if you missed the video, we made this in part 3 of the Berry Cute Workshop series. In part 4, we're going to be making cards using the Memories and More card pack that you were sent. As far as bingo goes, oops, that's not the bingo. Let's see. Those of you playing bingo with me Friday, we're making this card, and this card. And you'll be getting the measurements soon. Not tonight, soon, but soon. We'll be going over all the things you need to prepare for that so we have more time to play and less time to craft. But that's how it goes. And did I mention the fluffiest friends? Oh my goodness. If this doesn't sell out the first day it goes live in November, I don't know. I want to make it one of our workshop series in the future. It's an online exclusive item coming out next month. I was able to pre-order this really cute stamp set, and this bundle is like my new favorite thing. I mean, the bunny is adorable, the honey bear, everything is adorable about this. I want to stack up on it. I want to do this maybe for the January series. I'm hoping it still is around though. And if not, I'm still going to feature it throughout December and the other months. So it's an online exclusive item, and this is what I made with it. The beaver holding the heart in the little beaver nest using the So Sincere stamp set. That's this stamp set that we're using for our card club. Now, we're not making this in card club, just so you know. When I say card club, we're only going to be using these sentiments. That's all you need in card club is this stamp set. You don't need any dies. We're going to give you all the pieces and all the die cut pieces and all the designer series paper you need. But I'm just saying for when I do a workshop series, which is a bundle, I mean, it doesn't get any cuter. That's what I plan on doing. Okay, and I'm going to be packaging these up soon as some thank yous for customers. So I just want to show you these. These were from World Card Making Day, which was on Saturday, October 7th. And it's a free online event, and you can watch the replays of it. And I did my own thing, changed up the designs a bit. And these are right here because I'm about to photograph them tomorrow. Unless I already photographed. I'm going to check if I photographed them, but I'm about to package these up one. So those are all from World Card Making Day. Masterfully made designer series paper. And you guessed it, the stamp set that we used for the very first month of Card Club. Card on Blue, we started with circle sayings. And next month will be our 6th month. So we started with circle sayings, and we're ending in the 6th month with No So Sincere. In the meantime, we had lots of stamp sets that we used for Card Club that didn't have sentiments. And we went back to this over and over. And we're going to be going back to this one over and over. So anything you invest in when you join my clubs, you always get to see more projects and inspiration than just what I do in that club. All right, well, thank you. Let me see if I said hi to everybody. Okay, Deborah's here, or Phyllis is here. Lynn, thank you. And Laura's here. And Linda from Stamp Cut and Create. Thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.